We have some very interesting Saints news and rumors to get to in today's show. But before we get to that, got to show some love to Coach Jim Mora, who turns 88 years old today. Happy birthday, Coach. Hope you have a wonderful day. And let's get to the playoffs. Let's get this thing rolling. All right, we're not skipping a beat. We're getting straight into the content today. Let's talk about one more move that the Saints could possibly make, because Bleacher Report put out an article laying out one move that each team could go and make, and for the New Orleans Saints, they said, quote, add a linebacker or two. So in terms of what they said, here's the full breakdown from Bleacher Report. They said, like the Eagles, New Orleans has an expected group of starters, Demario Davis, Pete Werner, and Zack Baun. The problem is none of the Saints reserves played a defensive snap in the NFL last season. Not signing at least one veteran linebacker seems like a risky choice. Now, I'm going to get into my thoughts, and I'm going to break down my perspective on the Bleacher Report article. But before we get to that, guys, we are on the road to 15K. We have been on the road for a little bit, but that number keeps getting bigger, and this one keeps getting smaller. So let's get to 15,000 subscribers ASAP, because we are 384 away. You get Saints news, rumors, updates, all sorts of fun and interactive content, whether we're in a live show, whether it's just a regular video throughout the week, or if it's a short on our shorts tab, we have you covered. We're going to have you all sorts of news, rumors, and interactive content. So please feel free to subscribe, lock us in. It's a free way to support what we do here. All right, so let's lay the scene. Let's set the scene. Let's lay out the groundwork for this argument. So in terms of the linebacker depth chart, you got Pete Werner, Demario Davis, Zack Baun, similar to what the Bleacher Report article laid out. But then you have Andrew Dowell, DeMarco Jackson, Ty Summers, and then an intriguing option in Anthony Orji and Nick Anderson, who were both UDFAs out of this UDFA class. And I think that it's a good group. But I am in the same boat as Bleacher Report. I think bringing in a veteran linebacker makes a lot of sense. Now, in terms of some free agents that are available, here's just 5 guys that the Saints could possibly go and sign. So you can go get Anthony Barr, Jalen Smith, Rashaan Evans, bring back Quan Alexander, maybe, and then we got Zach Cunningham as well. And in terms of the stat comparison, just so that way you can see how these guys line up and how these guys compare to each other. So Anthony Barr, 55 tackles, 1 sack, a pass breakup, no interceptions. You had Jalen Smith, 88 tackles, 1 sack, 0 pass breakups, 0 interceptions. Rashaan Evans, I like this option the more I think about it. 159 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 pass breakups, 0 interceptions. Now, Evans isn't going to be much of a coverage guy. He will be more of, your run stopper. He'll get to tackles. He'll stop plays. He'll be your tackle guy, and I think that he could be an intriguing option. So, too, is Quan Alexander. He only had 69 tackles, very nice, and half a sack, and he had 1 pass breakup last year. I think it would be cool to bring back Quan Alexander, and I know a lot of Saints fans would like it as well, but I don't think it makes a ton of sense. Quan, he has injury issues. He was good whenever he was around. Let's turn the page. It's a new chapter. We don't have to keep bringing back players that we formerly had. And then on top of that, Zach Cunningham to round things out, 24 tackles, 0 sacks, a pass breakup, and no interceptions. But I don't want to miss this opportunity to talk about DeMarco Jackson, because he was present at OTAs. If you remember last year, he was a mid-round draft pick for the New Orleans Saints. He got put on injured reserve in training camp last year, so we never really got to see what DeMarco Jackson was capable of, but he was present at OTAs. He's an athletic freak, and he could be the missing piece on this Saints defense at the linebacker's position specifically. Now, in terms of what he was able to do at App State, at Appalachian State, I don't know what it is, but he was a damn good football player. 291 tackles, 11 and a half sacks, 35 tackles for a loss, and then he had 3 interceptions and 14 pass breakups at his time in App State when he was tearing it up in the Fun Belt. But what say you, Who Dat Nation? I'm curious as to what you got to say. I laid out my thoughts. I think that the Saints could go and get one of those 5 aforementioned linebackers I listed, but I also think that Demario Jackson has the opportunity to be a breakout player for New Orleans. So let me know, Saints fans. Shout out a player if you think the Saints should add a linebacker. Otherwise, type in for no and just say, Demario Jackson's the guy. I think he could be a good fit. But we also want to take a quick second before we round things out on today's show. We have some Saints jerseys available for you. We got men's, we got women's, we got every player you could possibly imagine. We got the home, we got the away, we got the color rush. We even have throwback jerseys available for you, but you got to get them down below. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. I'll have that link available for you in the comment section and in the description of this video. Also, let me know what jersey to get next. I'm thinking a Chris Olave jersey, but I need you guys to let me know because I'm indecisive. All right, so to round things out, let's talk about JJ, my main man, Juwan Johnson, one of my favorite players on the current roster. Juwan Johnson has been studying Julian Edelman to prepare to work with Derek Carr, which I find pretty interesting. And as for what Juwan Johnson had to say about studying Julian Edelman, he said, I know the type of role I'll be doing, and Derek Carr loves those routes. Julian Edelman was one of the best at those choice routes, short game routes. And I think that this is a really cool thing, because why should Juwan Johnson, who is about twice the size, he's like 6'4", 250 pounds, where Julian Edelman's pushing a $198, not as tall. I mean, why study a guy like Julian Edelman? Well, because Derek Carr, he has really good short-range accuracy. He's known for having good short-range accuracy. Tom Brady, he's a great football player, and he loved hitting that check-down guy with Julian Edelman, or hitting him on a seam, or hitting him in the slot, or hitting him on a third and short, and that's to my next point. They can convert. Julian Edelman can convert on third and medium, and so can Juwan Johnson. And now I believe that Juwan Johnson believes he will have a similar role, as pointed out in that quote we just showed you. And the fourth reason, he could be more of an asset on short distances. And I believe that that Juwan Johnson is an asset, especially on short and medium range downs. And as for how Derek Carr and Juwan Johnson have been kind of building some of that chemistry, we actually got to see Juwan Johnson get hit by Derek Carr on a seam route at OTAs yesterday, which, one, I love that the seam route is back in the playbook for the New Orleans Saints. And two, I'm really pumped to see that they're building that connection, they're building that chemistry, because Juwan Johnson, I am a firm believer. I am the one who has been saying this entire time. He is Mr. Reliable. And when you look at who Derek Carr has in his tight end room, you got Foster Moreau and Juwan Johnson. We've shown this graphic a handful of times, but we're going to continue to show it to you guys because it makes a lot of sense here. So with Juwan Johnson, 25 first downs, he averaged 12 yards per catch. Foster Moreau, 24 first downs and 12.7 yards per catch. So when you look at those numbers, to me, that's saying, one, you can trust these guys to convert first downs. You can trust these guys to convert on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, whatever it is. But you can also count on them in 1st and 2nd down whenever you're trying to stretch the field, whenever you're trying to push the ball downfield. I think it makes a lot of sense for Juwan Johnson to study Julian Edelman, and I think that it's an intriguing way to develop his game and to further boost the skills that he has. And guys, let's go. Let's go, baby. We're about to have real football again. OTAs are underway. We're back talking about real football. So, guys, I need you to do me a favor. Type JJ in the comment section if you want Juwan Johnson to ball out this year. Every single year, he has gotten so much better and become more and more and more of an asset to this team and more of a staple to this team's offense. So, guys, I'm going to be in the comment section spamming JJ. I need you doing the same thing. And before we head on out of here, you know what I'm about to say. Drop a like on this video. Who Dat Nation? Y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time.